Hello everyone, welcome to today's reading on mind reading. So I will be reading the thoughts of the people that you have in mind right now. What thoughts do they have towards you? What are the thoughts that they are not speaking out loud to you? And understanding the truth behind the person's intentions also. So we're going to be looking at the kind of thoughts they have. And we have 5 piles to choose from today. Yes, we have a lot more than usual because I wanted to cover like a wide range today for some reason. So for pile number 1, we have this beautiful green tree. For pile number 2, we have this almost like a beggar, but he also looks like a lover expressing his love or sitting down on his knee. But initially the intention of this charm was to make a beggar. Charm number 3, we have this castle which is surrounded by water. Pile number 4, we have the mouth, which is saying all sorts of things. We have the hashtag, the dollar, and this is, I'm not sure what this is, but this is a mouth with the 3 symbols here, special character symbols. And finally, for pile number 5, we have a shield. So if you're not sure how to choose a pile using your intuition, I have made a tutorial, a 2-3 minute tutorial on how to pick a pile using your intuition. You can go ahead, watch that first, and then come back again here, and then use your intuition to pick one of the 3 piles, and whichever pile is basically drawing your attention the most is the pile for you. And also you can confirm it after you skip ahead to the section. You will feel that yes, this is the pile for me. If you don't feel that, try another pile. Practice makes perfect. That's the learning process. And once you have made your choice, you can skip ahead with the given timestamps below in the description box. Welcome pile number 1. Let's take a look at what are this person's thoughts towards you. Pile number 1. And we have, oh man. So this person's thoughts towards you, with the heart, with the green charm, green tree charm coming out, this is also talking about a very strong, deep emotional bond with the person and very deep rooted connection, you know. It's just as deep in the subconscious mind as it is in the physical. You know how the tree's roots extend downwards and the branches extend upwards. It's like a very strong, different, multifaceted connection you have with this person here. And the thoughts of this person towards you, pile number 1, is about if you have had any sort of setbacks in the past. This card, the thoughts of this person towards you is towards wanting to end any sort of physical, emotional distance between you two, because it's a double confirmation. First of all, it says someone will end the distance between you, and then this is talking about journey, time to travel. So that's a double confirmation, and this is clarifying that for pile number 1, the person you have in mind, which is most probably going to be a romantic connection with this sort of energy here, is talking about them wanting to end any sort of distance between you two. But this is just the overall energy. Let's get down to their thoughts. What are this pile 1's person's thoughts towards them? Circle, toast, doubt. So the thing is, they feel like if they come back to you, so this is their doubt coming up. So the kind of thoughts they have towards you, pile number 1, is a little doubtful, because they are wondering if they do come back, circle back to you and propose this new beginning with you, are you going to be willing to take them back or let them back in? That is one of the heavy thoughts that they definitely think about, pile number 1. Let's see what else does pile 1's person think. Okay, so we have dragon, mystery, gaff. So this is talking about this connection for them is very much like a mystery, because perhaps the type of connection you two share with each other is very different from the type of connections you or both of you have experienced in the past, because of how connected it is with this double confirmation, with this tree here, like so interconnected. Like if you ever go out into the jungle and stare up into the sky with all the trees branches just intermingling with each other, it's so beautiful. If you watch the movie Avatar and how the neural networks connect with each other in the plant and animal kingdom, it's so beautiful. And the truth is, it is like that. It's just not physically visible, but it's there. Everything is so beautifully interconnected, and especially for you two are so strongly connected, and there is such a fiery sort of energy. There's such a spark, like, you know, the dragon speaks of like so much mystery, so much power, so much energy, so much excitement. And it was we got gaff, which is like, you know, social error sort of. So I feel like in the past this connection was misunderstood. It was not perhaps appreciated enough for how special it is in the past, and they feel sad about it, that they could not appreciate this connection before because of how powerful and magical it seems to them now. What else are pile one's thoughts? Exposure, petty, pull. So the words that I've got here are, there was like a pettiness here. They feel like in the past the arguments that you two had were very petty and very shallow, very superficial, and that kind of pulled you two back from each other, and the beauty of the connection got compromised because of the pettiness, because of the ego that was sort of dominating at one point in your connection, and that worries them a lot. They feel like the ego may have distanced you apart, the ego in the connection. And what else do they think about pile one? Okay, so pile number one, sorry about the advertisement in there. So the next thing that they think about is, they felt like you were growing like a tree, beautiful tree, but suddenly it got plugged out, and it worries them. They worry about that your growth together there was a hiccup there, and they want to, the next words I got were rescue, shame. So there was like this sort of fear involved on both sides. That was the underlying reason why this might have got pulled out of the plug, the growth together, because there were fears on both sides involved. One side was not, both people were equally afraid of losing the other or for getting hurt again. Different types of fears were involved. There was a lot of shame and guilt about a lot of things, about their own body image or their present circumstance, their finances. It could have been anything. And so basically the solar plexus and the sacral chakra were imbalanced. The traits which were imbalanced, like there was a lack of confidence, there was a lack of creative expression, freedom of expression on both sides. There was a layer of masked expression there, like trying to put on, saying some things that were not truly coming from the heart space but from the ego space, to try and not put up the real truth expose their real selves, but a masked layer to protect themselves or to show something different than what their truth was, sort of. So now that they want this connection to be rescued, what are their future, what are their plans? So they want to, so what the words I got were plaster, frown, and light, which means that they definitely want to get past those past hurdles and bring more lightness into the connection, bring more authenticity and love and joy and peace into the connection. And that's what the thoughts for pile number one's persons are. If it resonated or if you enjoyed this reading, pile number one, do let me know, and I'll do more of such readings in the future if you guys like it. And I'll see you guys later. Welcome, pile number two. Let's take a look at the thoughts of this person towards you. Okay, so definitely resonates. Maybe I have one more card here. Okay, this definitely wanted to come out. So pile number two. We have a fresh start at the bottom of the deck. The person's thoughts towards you right now, they feel very impoverished in some ways. They feel like they are at a disadvantage here. They feel like they are less than in some way, and they think that they are less than in regards to you. They don't compare to you. They feel like they're not good enough. And they want to communicate, they want to talk to you, if that's that's something that concerns you, because you have communication in reverse. But the reason that they are not able to talk to you with the innocence and openness and vulnerability is because they feel a lack inside. They feel like they are not good enough. That's the main energy of this person towards you, pile number two. Let's get what are pile number two's person's thoughts towards them. So we have chapter, doubt, nominate. They also are like pile one. They also have a lot of doubt. But this is not, I feel this may not be a romantic reading per se like pile one was. This can be more like friends and family and the people around you. And they feel what they're thinking towards you is they are doubting if you are gonna choose them in future, if you are going to involve or include them in your future. That's what they most worry and think about at this time, because you are out there, your fresh start, and they feel not good enough. What are pile two's person's thoughts? Systematic, brave number. They feel like what they think about you is that you have been really courageous in whatever. I'm not quite sure what you have been doing, pile number two, but in this person's eyes, they think you're very brave. And you have been doing things one after the other that have proved that you are brave, you are independent. And almost like you don't need them anymore in your life. That's what they're thinking, because they have this sort of a lack mindset within. Now, this may not be true on your side, but that's what they are thinking. And I just want you to know, pile number 2, that if you have been doing you, and if this person feels lack, those are completely independent things. One has to remove the lack from within themselves. It's nobody else's. It's not on you if they are worrying about all these things. It's their own self-perception of themselves, and they need to find the empowerment and love within themselves to come out of this lack mindset, impoverished mindset. It's not for you to feel bad about this, but since we are doing mind reading today, which I'm so excited about, these are the thoughts that pile number 2 thinks. So what they are thinking right now is display, please, divide. You have been cutting yourself away, cutting this person out of your life, and you have been displaying that, and you have been very adamant about it. That's what they are thinking about at this time. What are pile number 2's thoughts? Defeat, nerve, wreck. They feel defeated. They feel they are wrecked. they are very anxious also. Their nerves are getting the better out of them, and they are in a very lack state of mind, as it's coming on again and again. They feel defeated. They feel wrecked. They feel like really bad. And what else does pile number 2's person think about them? Spectrum, affect, medium. They feel like you guys at this moment in time are on far different ends of the spectrum, and you don't see eye to eye on so many things, and they are not quite sure how to move forward with this, with your situation. They feel like whatever they say is just not good enough, just not working out. Things are just falling apart. What are pile number 2's thoughts? Yeah, it's just coming out at this time that we got burn, barrel, campaign. They feel like you are at a point in your life where you're just not taking shit from anybody, and you're just at this point where you're just removing all sorts of baggage, and you're burning all the past, and you're shedding all the old, and they don't know if they can fit into your new life, and if you will include them in your new life. That's what they're thinking. Pile number 2. I feel bad ending it at this note, so I'm gonna get some advice for you, pile number 2. What should you do at this, because of the situation with person 2 is, pile number 2's person is, what should you do in this situation? Universe wants you to know that you cannot flourish in an so the words I got were flourish, awful, marsh. You know how in marshy areas the trees are actually drowning because it's so muddy. They cannot really, it's an environment, the trees survive, but they're not blossoming, they're not super happy about it. And the universe wants you to flourish, and the universe wants you to find an environment where you can flourish. You can choose to remove yourself from the marshy areas where you feel suffocated and drowned, and you deserve to be flourished. So don't hold yourself back. It's not on you that this person feels this way. It's in this person's hand to come out of this situation just as empowered as you are, and then you can meet again. But for the time being, you have to choose yourself here, pile number 2, and I don't want you to feel sad. So that's your message. Welcome, pile number 3. Those of you who chose this castle surrounded by water, let's take a look at your reading. What are your person's thoughts? Pile number 3. What are pile number 3's person's thoughts? What are pile number 3's person's thoughts? Sorry about the misalignment. I will correct that. Okay. Person's thoughts towards pile number 3. Emotional distance is what I'm getting here. There may have been some conflicts in regards to finances here with the person you're asking about, and this with this box and this bulb here, it's talking about movement, cycles, completion. Let me get exactly what the situation with pile 3 is. Okay, so we have formal brain correction and we have this castle here. So this may have to do with a place where you live, because we have the school here, so the school or college or university or job, a place of work. I'm just throwing different scenarios at you so that if it resonates with you, the scenarios that are coming to me, then this is your pile. Otherwise, feel free to choose another pile for your person's thoughts. So this can be anybody you share a physical space with, a physical environment with, and there is a emotional distance and a imbalance in finances here of give and take, is what the scenario with your person is. Now this was a validation for you that this is your pile or not, and now we're going to go ahead with whatever this situation is for you and the person you're thinking about right now. What are their thoughts towards you? What is pile number 3's person's thoughts? Spend, fame, favor. Okay, so we got a confirmation about money. So what I feel about this situation is there is a feeling of doing a favor or compromising initially, or coming to a understanding about collaboration. So basically, because you feel that you have potential for the future, you sort of treat them, the energy is treating this relationship as a little special, as opposed to all the other traditional relationships involved. Though I'm not getting this is a romantic relationship, this has to do with the financial situation here. And there is a potential for the future to work together, collaborate, and there is a feeling of emotional support being there or not. Now, the first thing that I got for you was brain side aspect of the person you're asking about for pile number 3. The ego brain aspect, the physical aspect about money was very strict and weighing more than the emotional aspect of the relationship. There was an imbalance there. The material aspect and the emotional aspect was not equally balanced here. One person was prioritizing money, the other person was prioritizing emotional support and harmony. Now that's the situation I'm getting. Now the person's thoughts Now this person's thoughts, the words I got were here, goalkeeper, habit. So they are very goal oriented. They have this habit of if they're not seeing any physical goals being met, they feel like they are they are losing something, or they are at a loss with something. And that's what they feel in this situation with you, pile number 3. This may or may not be true, but that's what they're thinking right now. They're thinking that they have this thought about the goal. They have this idea about this goal needs to be met, and they are very stubborn as to how they go about meeting this goal. They can be so rigid that they can completely block out all emotional sensitivity and receptivity to meet their goals. Now this can mean that if you're, let's say, in a university situation where your employer is very hard, his mind is quite fixed on, I need this by this time, and this is to be done, and there's no ifs and buts about it. Now this person is so rigid in their goal that they are going to completely block out the other person's emotions involved, where they said, let's say, that they need this. They did not even consider asking the person involved if they were willing to do it, if that was fine with them. They sort of block the emotions out to meet their goals. That's the sort of thoughts this person has towards you, pile number 3. And let's see, what else are this pile 3's thoughts? Sniff, proceed, customer. They are very they want to expand their material aspects in life. They want to get more and more customers, or more and more whatever their goal is, and that's what their main idea is. There is no thoughts about let's build an emotional bond together. No, this person's thoughts are let's get more money, or let's get more success, sort of. That's all that this person cares about. Pile number 3. What are the thoughts of pile number 3's person? So for you in this situation, pile number 3, the words I got were crisis, drag, nuance. Now because these are subtle emotions, are very subtle feelings, and one needs to have an open mind and have a balanced state of mind to be able to perceive the emotions of their own emotions of the people involved. And when they're so hard fixed about their own selfish needs, I'm sorry if it comes out very harshly, but they sort of block out all nuances. What this does on your end is that you don't really know what it is that's bothering you, because it's not a physical entity here. Emotions are it's not a physical thing. You have to sense it, you have to feel it. It's like a higher dimensional 3D is the physical dimension, then 4D is the thoughts, and 5D is the emotions, the sensitivity. I'm not quite sure about this, but I feel that's how it goes. And so one needs to look beyond the physicality to be able to sense the emotions. Now because you are also on the other end, you don't have like a physical proof of what's wrong. You don't know if you can stand up for yourself in this situation, or what is exactly bothering you sort of frustrates you, because you cannot pinpoint it out in the physical proof is not there, because it's an emotion. Can you hold them? Can you stand up for yourself for disrespecting your emotions? Like, if it's not on paper, you feel, can you stand up for yourself in that case? Well, yes, you can, and you should. Pile number 3. Okay, let's see what else are pile number 3's thoughts. So we have monster quantity resignation. Now this is more like a guidance for you, pile number 3 here, because we know the kind of thoughts this person has. They're very selfish or self-motivated, very physical aspect based. This is more like a guidance for you, pile number 3, monster quantity resignation, to stop running or giving your energy, investing in people who are not valuing the emotions and sensitivity part of life, because they are going to because it's gonna hurt you emotionally. This person is so blocked off right now, that emotion wise, heart wise, that if you try and explain this to them, this will not even make sense. They will not be able to understand the depth of this conversation about emotions, because they are so blocked in their own emotions that even their brain will not be able to comprehend what are you talking about. They are going to be like, well, all I care about is whether this is being done or not. And if you're going to tell me that your emotions are being hurt, then for me, you are not good enough to work with me. That is the sort of mentality this person has. Now, the part that you have to correct in your own journey is to stop investing in such people, because they are emotional drains on you. They are sort of just taking your energy, taking you for granted, taking your emotions for granted, when the universe wants you to learn from this experience that emotions matter, sensitivity matters. You cannot be so physical, quantity oriented. It's just like the devil's energy, where you're just chasing after money, or you're just chasing after success, you're just chasing after material things. And there's nothing wrong with material things, but there has to be a balance. You cannot just disregard the 5D and 4D aspects of life, and only think that only physical part of life is real, and everything else doesn't matter. You cannot just reject those parts of yourself. And that's the guidance for you here, pile number 3, is to not invest in such people, not to realize that your emotions, your sensitivity, what bothers you is valid, matters, and the universe wants to support you to come into situations where people will be sensitive towards your emotions and feelings, and how you deserve to be treated and how you don't deserve to be treated. But the lesson for you here is to learn this discernment process of who values emotions, who has a balanced state of mind when it comes to emotions and the physicalities, and who is only concerned about physicalities and who is only concerned about emotions. There has to be a beautiful balance in everything in life. So that was your reading, pile number 3. I hope that helped, and if it did, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Welcome, pile number 4, to the mind reading. Let's take a look at what are your person's thoughts. Pile number 4. What are the thoughts of pile number 4? Blame, blame, blame. Oops, sorry. What are pile number 4's thoughts? Do we want to get another one? I feel like this has to do with communication, definitely. In the past, I feel like this person, there was this the thoughts of this person, pile number 4, towards you are how they have misunderstood you and your intentions, is what it's talking about. They may have said a lot of things that were not fair, that was not true, that's not how you felt, but they were self-projecting. They were projecting their own fears onto you, because they have always had people attracted to them who were very selfish and were mean and harmful towards them, and that's what this person thought you were as well. But that was not true, and because of all the misjudgments, there needs to be a lot of cleaning of the past wounds, because a lot of hurtful things have been said here. And what this person thinks about is how to clean them, clean all the stains on the window. Let's get, what are pile number 4 person's thoughts? Stir, address, closed. Stir, address, closed. I feel like for some of you, this may not resonate for all of you, but because of how tumultuous this relationship with this person was, you may have put an end to it. And you're like, either both of you or one of you was like, that's that, I cannot take it anymore. Basically, you cannot just keep self-projecting on me all the time. What are pile number 4's thoughts? Theft, check, sweat. For some of you, this may be a situation with somebody whom you paid money to, with the gold digger, and they wrongly accused you of something and you paid them extra, and now they have a guilty conscience. And they are working towards cleaning that guilty conscience. So they may have said, so with the theft, check, sweat, what I'm getting here is they may have accused you, said things very harshly, and said that you did that and you did that, or even if it was not harsh, they manipulated you to think that it was your fault, and the intention was to get more money out of you in this situation, and now they have a very guilty conscience. And for you, I want you to know that nobody can take away from you what is meant for you, pile number 4. Even if this person took more, at the end of the day, there's going to be balance and justice prevailing. Whether it is in this lifetime, you get it back, or in some other lifetime, but the balance is always maintained. And you don't need to worry about paying too much or too little to somebody, but you don't have, it's not on you here, it's their guilty karma, it's their guilty conscience that's going to negatively influence them, and whatever is meant for you, whatever money-wise, energy-wise is for you, will come back to you. You will receive it in one form or the other. The universe balances it all out very beautifully. So what they have done here is, by trying to be very petty and greedy about the money, they have accused you wrongly of theft or something, and they have tried to or either they have tried to steal from you, and now universe is going to make them sweat is what is coming through, and that's what they subconsciously realize that, and at the back of the mind it haunts them also. That's the subconscious sort of level of thinking, the thoughts that this person has. Pile number 4. What else are pile number 4's thoughts? Creation, toss, restrain. So what they think about is, perhaps, now this is also going to resonate for some of you, not all of you, but perhaps you two are working towards creating something together, collaborating with something together, but because of this pettiness that came out here, now that has come to a stop, and that's what they think about also. What are pile 4's thoughts? Critical, warn, temptation. So there was a temptation involved on this person's side, and they may or may not be consciously aware of this temptation to get more money, but it was very imbalanced. And now what they're thinking about is that they have created this critical situation between you two where things are not cool anymore, things are quite awkward, and they wish somebody had warned them what the consequence of this would be beforehand. They feel like they acted on an impulse of fear, of temptation, and now they are regretting it. That's what is coming through for pile number 4. What else are pile 4's thoughts? Promise, loud, translate. I feel like there were promises made here, very loud promises made here, which did not translate in action. Their words and their actions were not same. They were saying something, acting differently. That's just an example of when person has not integrated a belief into their being. They have it in their mind, but when it comes to testing that belief, they shy away. They choose fear, and over that belief, they choose to act out of fear instead of having faith. And that kind of hurt you, and that kind of showed you the true picture of this situation about this person, and they realize it at some level. Now for some of you this person may consciously be aware of this situation yet, or they will soon be aware of it, or they may be completely oblivious if they are that stubborn. But at the subconscious level, that's what they are thinking. And let's end it with a guidance here, because this is a little bit of a tricky situation. What's the guidance for pile number 4 here about this? Tape, break, fairy. So the universe is like telling you, pile number 4, that people don't go by people's words. If their words don't meet their actions, don't feel bound that you made a promise to this person and you feel guilty about breaking it. Well, the thing is, they made promises as well that they did not keep. In your mind, you don't owe them any explanation or anything at all. If something is not how you wanted it and what you agreed upon it would be, you have the right to make the agreement null and void and break the tapes, like any sort of boundaries and restrictions, and free yourself away from this, because people wish that somebody, now people may say that if in an agreement something was wrong, why didn't you come and tell me? The truth is, we almost always consciously know the truth, but instead of asking ourselves, we want to ask other people about the truth, and then it becomes more convenient to justify and deny the truth, because if we talk to ourselves and face the truth within ourselves, then we cannot run away from it because it's coming from us. So it becomes easier for the other person to justify it and twist it around and all of that. So you don't need to get into explaining yourself to anybody, because if they're not ready to hear it for themselves, they are just going to shove it aside. And it's just, you don't need to waste your energy doing that. When the time is right for them, they will find out the truth for themselves, because everybody eventually knows the answer deep down. Everything that they need to know, they know deep down. It's a matter of, are you ready to face the truth or not? So that's the guidance for you. Pile number 4. And I hope that was helpful. And if you enjoyed the reading, please let me know in the comments. Give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Finally, welcome pile number 5. Those of you who chose this shield charm, let's take a look at what are the thoughts of this person. Okay, what are the thoughts of this person? So, straight off the bat, I feel like this person sees that you have something very special to offer, and they want it all by themselves, is what I'm getting. Pile number 5. What are the thoughts of this person? Okay, so this came out again. So definitely this is here, completion of a cycle here. And I feel this is, I will ask what this is about, the completion of the cycle thing, because we got this again. So let's see what this is talking about. Mosque, contact, interest. Yes, they realize that you have something very special to offer. That's strongly coming through with the mosque contact. It feels like you have something that can help this person, or you have some information, you have some resources, you have some wisdom, you have some certain energy that this really attracts this other person for pile number 5. And with a shield charm coming through, I feel like you shouldn't give it to them. Pile number 5. What are the thoughts of pile number 5? We got rib, fragrant, volume. So, down to their bones, they desire something that you have so much, like down to their bones, and they are so strongly attracted towards you. It's crazy. Wow. This is some sort of like this can actually be very weird energy. Stalker vibes I'm getting. Not a healthy person to collaborate or interact with, pile number 5, whoever this person is. Just look at the music. It's quite eerie as well. Let's change it. Okay. What is pile number 5's thoughts? Entitlement, bind, dough. They feel like they are entitled to something that you have to offer. They feel like you owe it to them. They feel like they can ask you whatever and how much they want, and you're just supposed to give it to them. There's some sort of entitlement that they are quite feeling at this time, which is so funny. So I don't think that it is true. You are not entitled to give this person, you don't owe this person anything. Pile number 5. What is the thoughts? pile person, for pile number 5. We have craftsman, support, vegetarian. Yes, you have some skills that can support this other person in some way. But what's coming through the guidance for you, pile number 5, is that remember that any exchange has to be balanced. You don't owe somebody anything. There has to be an equal give and take. If you're giving something to the other person, there has to be a balanced return back. And don't shy away from asking it from them, because if you give some of your energy or your thoughts or your wisdom or your resources to this other person who is craving for it. Just interesting pile. What is pile number 5's thoughts? They feel like you can help them escape something. You can help them release something. And you can help them bring more. We have palace, keep, rent. With this, I feel like they want to have the palace on rent. Like, there was this funny movie, Bunty or Bubbly. It's a Hindi movie, Bollywood movie. And there was a con man. The hero was the con man who said that he would sell the Taj Mahal to the foreigner who wanted to gift it to his wife. And so they ended up in this whole scam where they end up buying the Taj Mahal, one of the 7 wonders of the world. So they bought the palace. They thought they could buy the Taj Mahal. So that's the vibe I'm getting here. The universe wants you to know that you are the Taj Mahal in this situation, in this analogy, and nobody has rights over you. So know your worth, and nobody can feel entitled to get their hands or get a piece of you if you don't want it to, okay? So funny energy. Okay, pile number 5's thoughts. Democratic cabin business. So this is again talking about equal give and take when it comes to finances, having like a proper structure for your business. Just because you're giving your energy not in the physical world, just because you're engaged in a business which involves sharing thoughts and opinions and healing and therapy, just like me, perhaps this is something that you're doing as well, or perhaps whatever it is, if you just counsel people, or if you're doing business with something which is not physical in nature, doesn't mean, or just like a Reiki therapist or a Reiki practitioner or something like that, where the product that you're giving is not physical. Just because it's not physical doesn't mean you don't get physical money back for it. It is an energy exchange. Physical money is also energy. So make sure that it's a democratic situation here. The other person is not trying to convince you that you can just give whatever to them because it's not a physical thing, and they are entitled to it because they somehow feel it's your job to do it anyways, which is so funny. So the guidance for you here, pile number 5, is just to shield yourself from such people, and know that you deserve the energy back as well. So do let me know, all those of you who chose pile number 5, and let me know what is this situation all about, because I'm so intrigued how this fits into your situation. So yeah, let's see what else is there anything else that wants to come through for pile 5. Custody, negligence, bread. Admission, overwhelm, digress. What is our 5 thoughts? Contact feminist mouse. Yeah. So there may be some, you know how the mice, in Lenormand deck, they are associated with thieves. They're associated with taking the little tidbits from here and there, stealing sort of energy. So I feel like such energies are going to be contacting you at this time, because of your powerful energy field that you have around you, the feminine energy that's blossoming out of you, whether you are a male or female, but you are in this energy of creation and expansion and creating a lot of changes for yourself and the people around you. And people with this mouse energy may communicate to you and feel entitled to your energy, but know that you need to protect yourself from such people, or giving away your precious time and energy to people who feel like they can just take and not give anything back. So just be cautious of that. So that was your reading, pile number 5, and I'll wrap it up here. And please subscribe and share and like and all the things that people do on YouTube. And I'll see you guys later.